Hi, I'm Vanessa from speakenglishwithvanessa.com. Why is your speaking level lower than your listening level? Let's talk about it. To answer this question, I want to ask you another question. In your native language, is your reading level higher than your speaking level? Can you read words and understand words that you don't use in daily conversation? Well, for English, it's true for me. When I read a book, there are plenty of words that I know what they are, but I never use them in conversation. Maybe they're high-level words, or they're just words that I don't find necessary to use in daily life. But this means that even in my native language, I know words that I don't use. Let me give you a quick example. I just opened a book on my bookshelf and found one of the first sentences, and it used two words that I hardly ever use in daily conversation. Let me read you the sentence. It says, I went expecting to see people denigrating the language, and instead I found them reveling in it. The word denigrating and reveling, I hardly ever use in daily conversation, but I know what they mean, and it's probably the same for you too in your native language. Your reading level is higher than your speaking level, and reading and listening are quite similar because they are input skills. You're not creating something, you're just taking information into your mind. So writing and speaking are a little similar because you're creating language. You're making sentences. But reading and listening are just input, kind of passive skills. I want to ask you a second question. I promise that I will answer the question myself, but I want to ask you a second question first. When you were a child, did you understand your native language before you started speaking it well? I think so. This is pretty common unless you're an amazing genius, one of a kind. Most people listen to their native language for years from their parents before they start to make beautiful sentences. They start by speaking slowly and maybe just a couple words. But usually when their parents give some kind of directions, can you do this? Where is this? The kids understand perfectly fine, but they never make those sentences for themselves, at least not yet. So our natural listening skills, our passive skills, are easier to develop. Those come first. And then our active skills, like writing and speaking, they come second. We just saw that it's natural that your speaking skills are lower than your listening or reading skills. But how can you improve your speaking skills? Because maybe they will never be the same level. Even in English, in my native language, they're not the same level. But how can you improve your speaking? Well, the first thing is to spend time speaking. You probably spend more time listening or more time reading in English than you spend speaking English. It's pretty normal because we don't always have people around us to speak English to. It's easier to listen to a podcast or watch a YouTube video like right now. You can do this passive skill more often than actively speaking. So I challenge you to simply find more time to speak. I have a couple videos where I give examples and ideas of how to speak if you don't know any English speakers. Maybe none of your friends are learning English. I'll make sure that I post a link to this video at the end so that you can take a look at some ideas of how you can start speaking now. But my biggest recommendation is to speak more. If you're listening to English for 30 minutes every day and you're only speaking English for 30 minutes once a week, you need to raise that level if you want it to become closer to your listening level. I hope that this lesson today was useful for you, and I helped to answer this question because it's really important to feel certain that you are on the right path. So I'll make sure I post a link to the video so that you can check out some ideas for how to improve your speaking. And let us know in the comments below, is your listening level higher than your speaking level? I'm curious what it's like for you. Tell us your experience and maybe even tell us in your native language. Do you think that in your native language, your listening and reading level are higher than your speaking? Let's talk about it in the comments. I can't wait to see what you have to say, and I'll talk to you later. Bye! The next step is to download my free ebook, 5 Steps to Becoming a Confident English Speaker. I want to help you master English and speak fluently. Feel free to subscribe so that you don't miss new English lessons. Thanks so much for learning with me. Bye!